I've always wanted to have that that relationship with a project where you start from the ideas, go through design, and then actually build it and see it happen and be a part of it with your own hands. I think as a designer, it's really important to actually get hands-on and learn how the process really works from that side of things. There's only so much you can really express by drawing on paper, and so much you can really learn by only ever drawing on paper. Being out here and seeing, actually trying to stick my head through a bunch of beams and get up under another piece to put in a different piece, seeing how difficult that can be, and how important it is to think everything through and what the process is going to be, how it all ties together. Sometimes, in AutoCAD you can get zoomed in and focused on little details that you start losing sight of the whole thing, and so I think tying it all together with working hands-on is important.
What are some of the elements that your design team came up with that were infused into the design that you're proud of?
Well, definitely the shape of the buildings is the shape of the building we designed, which is cool. We had the big decks facing south in our design. We had the sloped excuse me, the single pitch roof, and so that's a big part of it. Thermal shutters and big windows, using lots of natural sunlight, but then also protecting from the cold. The idea, I think, that was everyone's from the beginning to not cut down too many trees, really sort of nestle the buildings into the existing landscape, which is really successful. You can't see the buildings from anywhere until you're on site.
Why did the project appeal to you in the first place?
I'm really interested in designing sustainable buildings. I haven't done much residential, I haven't done much architecture for homes, and so that was interesting to kind of get a new look at that. But for the most part, just focusing on sustainable design and focusing on design for Alaska specifically. All my work is for Alaska, but sometimes it can feel, when you're doing a military project or a big commercial grade project, it doesn't necessarily feel specific to the North. I'm actually starting my master's in 2 weeks, master's in architecture, and my thesis will be focusing on sustainable design for the Arctic and for Alaska.
So maybe this will be a case study?
Yeah, absolutely. One thing I really want to work on for this village is I want to keep going with the community center design, because that's what I want to focus on in rural communities in Alaska for my thesis, and I think that this village could be a really interesting opportunity to study that. I want to see, I'm interested in seeing if a community like this really brings people together, kind of driven towards a specific goal. I think if it does, then that's a real big strength, teaming up for sustainability.